What's going on, Slay Bays? It's your girl Ashley and welcome back to my channel. So I'm really excited about today's video because I am doing a full face of first impressions using a bunch of new makeup releases. Now for the first time ever, a lot of these products are relatively new releases, and if they're not, they're just very new to me. I'm a little slow to jump on the bandwagon sometimes, but you know what? Today's video is gonna be very fun. I'm gonna show you how to get this very fun, flirty, poppy, spring festival makeup look, and it's so cute, very bright, different than a lot of looks that I film on my channel, but that's what makes it so fun. So sit back, relax. It's gonna be a long video. I apologize in advance, so subscribe if you guys haven't already. Also, click that bell so that way YouTube will notify you anytime I upload, which is every Monday and Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2 times a week, every single week. Somebody told me that their roommate really likes it when I like twirl my hand like that, so I had to put an emphasis on that today. Okay, shout out to you, boo. Anyways, let's go ahead and jump right into the video. First things first, my brows are done. I am gonna go in and prime my eyelids. You guys already know the deal. I like to use the Soft Ochre Paint Pot. I just like to take this brush right here, which is a Smashbox blurring concealer brush, and I'll just put this all over my eyelids to prime them before eyeshadow application. This is a dry base primer. I recently switched from using concealer to an actual primer, and honestly it makes the world of a difference. So if you guys are using concealer, try using an actual eyelid primer, because I'm telling you, your eyeshadow blending game will be out of this world, like so good. The eyeshadow palette I'm going to use in today's video is very different than any other shadow palette I've used on my channel, and it is this one right here by BH Cosmetics. This is the Color Festival palette. It has 20 different eyeshadow shades in it, and as you can see, they are all very beautiful. They're vibrant, some are shimmery, some are neutral, so you can definitely create a wide range of looks with this palette. So I definitely am going to opt for more of a colorful look because I don't really do those often on my channel. I'm thinking I want to first and foremost go in with the shade right here called Pop. I'm going to take an M441 and just rock that back and forth in the socket. This is a really beautiful lavender shade, and I think it's going to really just stand out in the crease as opposed to using, you know, the typical warm tone brown shade. Now, one thing I want you guys to be aware of is that shade called Pop, it's not completely matte. It definitely has some slight shimmer to it. It definitely is a little bit more satin than it is matte. That's completely okay. As long as it's not like chunky glitter in my crease, I'm okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on. I'm gonna pick up the shade called Groove, which is this really beautiful kind of like peachy tone shade, and I'm also going to layer that in my crease just a little bit, and I'm gonna use the same brush. No need to switch to a clean brush because they are essentially in the same color family. So I'm just going to take this and just kind of layer it on in the crease, but I'm not going to take it above the lavender shade. So I'm just kind of just keeping it in the socket. These are just like really beautiful pastel shades. I really don't experiment with pastels often, so this is very different for me. I'm going to take a little bit of concealer. I'm going to use the Nars Soft Matte Complete Concealer in the shade Medium 1 Custard on a Morphe M124, and I'm going to carve out a little bit of lid space because I definitely want to go in with a lot of shimmer on my lid and kind of like smoke it out and deepen it in the outer V, if that makes any sense at all. And as always, with just a small fluffy brush, I'm just going to pat and blend out the edges of the concealer just so that way everything lays flat and nice and it doesn't get wonky when I go to add color in my outer V. So the first shade I'm thinking of going in with is this one right here called Banger. This look is going to be a banger. Now, Ashley, just stop. I'm going to pick up some of that shade on an M124 by Morphe, and I'm going to start off by patting it right here just in the very inner corner. Nothing too crazy. Again, a very kind of like inner 1/3 of the lid where I put that concealer just to brighten it up, just like that. I'm now going to go in with this shade right here called Candy, right next to that shade called Banger, to add a little bit more color. So I'm not gonna lie, this color definitely isn't going on as smooth as a color called Banger right here in the very inner corner. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to spritz the brush with a little bit of MAC Fix Plus to see if I can kind of get it to lay down and not as chunky, because it's looking a little chunky and not as vibrant as it looks in the pan. So that's a little deceiving, but I think we can make it work with just a little bit of Fix Plus. I'm going to take my finger into the shade called Candy and I'm going to pat that onto the lid to see if that works a little bit better. You know what? I almost forgot. I also have BH Cosmetic Brushes to try and test out in today's video. Do you guys see these? These are so pretty. Neon, lime, green, whatever you want to call it. Perfect for festival season and just perfect for an added pop in your makeup collection. I'm actually going to go ahead and switch colors and I'm going to go in with that gold EDM right here. I had to go in with the gold in this look. So I'm going to take my finger, pick a little bit of that gold up and just pop it right next to the shade called Candy. And this is just going to give it a little bit of dimension. I will definitely say that these shimmers go on a lot better with your finger than a brush. Let me just kind of put that out there. And I don't want to lose any of the shade called Candy in the process. So I'm going to try not to cover it up too much. Now that I have my lid shade going a little bit, it's definitely time to deepen up and amp up this look. So I'm going to go in with this shade right here called Sequins, which is that really pretty kind of like burgundy shade on the number 11 pencil brush that came in that brush set. And I'm going to tap this right here on the very outer V. And this is a bright color, but it is a matte shade, so it definitely is going to really just tie in all the colors. And the method that I'm using is a stamping method, so I definitely want to stamp on the color exactly where I want it with this pencil brush, and then I'll go in and buff out the edges. So there definitely isn't a small enough brush to do the precision blending that I'm needing to do for this area. So I am going to switch over to an M507 and I'm just going to lightly diffuse out the edge. I'm just kind of lightly going in small circular motions just so that way the colors are nice and diffused. I'm also going to take that color and blend it into the shade called EDM by just tapping it right there. So I definitely feel like I lost a lot of pigment in the process, but I'm going to go right back into that number 11 brush and just start re-intensifying it. So we're going to take a little mini break from the eyes and work on the rest of the face. The first thing I'm going to go in with is a primer. You guys, I went to Sephora and I picked up the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer and I am all about it. Like I said in some of my previous videos, I have never tried out Milk Makeup ever. I don't get PR from them. I rarely ever pick up products from Sephora, but I just couldn't resist. I've been really itching to try out their products. So this is my very first purchase and we're going to see how it goes. I do kind of want to read the back of it. It says pump 1 to 2 shots of primer on the back of your hand, blend a thin layer onto clean skin before makeup application. So it's oil-free, silicone-free, green tinted, and it goes on clear to work across all skin tones and types. So this primer is definitely up my alley. I do really love the packaging on this. You guys see how stunning, like it looks so sleek. I just kind of want to sit it on my table behind me, but that would be useless. So let's go ahead and pump 1 to 2 pumps on the back of my hand. Let's start with 1 because that's kind of a lot. And I'm going to work it into the skin. Ooh, it actually feels really nice. Ooh. You guys, this feels amazing on the skin. And when we talk about a tacky primer, this is a tacky primer, like kind of sticky like, but I kind of like that in a primer because I really feel like the foundation is just going to stick onto it like glue and it's not going to go anywhere. For foundation today, I will be trying out the Ulta Beauty Youthful Glow Foundation Serum Drops. This definitely is a new product for me. I have no idea how it's going to go, but it looks very, very promising. It says it's paraben free and oil free. It is a skin loving formula that is going to promote a youthful appearance. It has emollients that that help hydrate and replenish the skin's moisture, and it also blurs the skin's imperfections for a flawless appearance. We will definitely see. I have two shades right here. I have medium warm and I also have a light warm. You guys know I kind of fluctuate between light and medium. The shade I'm going to start off with is a light warm, just because I find it to be easier to go in with a little bit more of a darker foundation over top if you do in fact go too light, whereas if you go too dark, it's hard to lighten up a darker foundation. So I'm going to just drop a few of these on my face, and with a damp sponge, this one just so happens to be from Equal Tools, I'm just going to kind of pounce the foundation all over. And so far I can definitely see that this is more of a sheer foundation, definitely kind of very natural, not as full coverage as I was expecting. You can definitely see a lot of my blemishes kind of peeking through, but I'm curious to see if it is in fact buildable. So for starters, I definitely am feeling like light warm is just a tad bit too light for me, so I'm gonna go in with a little bit of medium warm. And again, I'm really just focusing on trying to build up this foundation. Now that's looking really dark. Let's go in with a little bit more of light warm. Kind of mix the two. And again, with my sponge, I'm just gonna kind of buff and blend out the foundation. Ooh, this second layer is looking very, very promising. Let's go ahead and cover up these under eye circles with a little bit of my favorite under eye corrector. This is not a first impressions. You guys already know I love the Pixie Brightening Peach Color Corrector to combat my dark circles, so I'm gonna pop this all over. Luckily for this video, I do have a newer concealer to try and test out. This one is by Makeup Forever. This is the Ultra HD Light Capturing Self-Setting Concealer. Now I have no idea whether or not it is gonna be self-setting. I guess it's something we're gonna have to test it out for, but I don't think I'm gonna do that in today's video, just because I do have two loose powders that I really wanna try and test out in today's video. So don't hate me, I will try this again in a future video and let you guys know my full-on thoughts without setting it down with powder. But today, we're gonna set this bad boy. We're really just gonna test it out for coverage. By the way, the shade I'm using is shade number 30, in case any of you guys are curious. Okay, so verdict on the concealer, I definitely feel like it is a really beautiful formula underneath the eyes. However, I do feel like it is creasing a little bit, so I'm not entirely sure how it's self-setting. Like, is it gonna self-set creased? I don't know, but I don't really want to sit around and wait for it to completely dry. So I'm gonna go in with a loose powder. I did pick this one up during the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty Sale event, like I said I would. I've been really wanting to try out this powder. This is the Dermablend Professional Loose Setting Powder in the shade Original. So I did get the original formula. I didn't get the banana shade or the deep shade. I picked up this stark white powder, and we are definitely going to give this one a run for its money. We're going to see what it's all about. So when it comes to powder, I like to just dust a little bit of it out on the cap, just so that way I don't get that much. And then I'll take my sponge, dip it into the powder, and make sure that the powder is laying flat, and then I'll go ahead and press it underneath the eyes. Just gonna look up and really press this underneath the eyes. Do you guys literally just see what happened to my foundation after putting on that powder? Like, what in the world? That is awful. So bad. Round two, you guys. What I went ahead and did is I removed my entire face makeup with the exception of my brows and my eyes, and I redid it. Instead of going in with the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer, I did go in with the Ulta Beauty Youthful Glow Primer Serum directly underneath the foundation serum, also by Ulta Beauty. And then I went ahead and put on this same Makeup Forever concealer. So let's see if this is a little bit better than the last time. I am going to use the Huda Beauty powder just because I do like the shade of this banana bread powder a lot more than the Dermablend just stark white one. And the sponge I'm using is just a $4 sponge. This one is by e.l.f. I'm going to blow on the powder and then I'm just going to press it. And as you can see, I am not getting the same effect I did last time, which, you know, I'm all about. I will say after putting on that powder though, you could see some of my sunspots, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but it's okay. I can't win tonight. I really can't. I now think it's the foundation and not the primer. I think the mixture between the foundation and the primer made it a little bit more chunkier, but you can definitely see that when I set that foundation down and in place, the powder like picks up the foundation. Like it's just not drying down. It's staying like very, very slippery on the skin. And then when I do go in with powder, the powder picks up the foundation, leaving it very, very clumpy and patchy looking. So I'm going to just take this all off, put on my Smith & Colt foundation that I've been using in almost every single video now, and then we'll come back and move on to the rest of the face. Okay, you guys, so I finally figured it out. It was most definitely the foundation. Now, with these first impression videos, it gets kind of tricky because since I'm trying out so many new products, I don't even know which one is giving me issues. So what I did instead is I went in with the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer, which is really good. Let me just say that. And then I also went in with the Smith & Colt Veiled Threat Weightless Micro Blurring Foundation. And I topped everything off with the Huda Beauty Powder and Banana Bread. And my face looks flawless, and I am so happy about that. Let's talk about bronzer. I did pick up this new bronzer by Fenty. This is the Sun Stalker Instant Warmth Bronzer. Now, I picked mine up in the shade Shady Biz. I think that this is gonna be the perfect match for me. I just love Fenty packaging. Do you guys see how stunning this is? This is what the actual product looks like. It has the Fenty logo right there in the product. And again, I do think that this is going to be a fairly decent match for me. We will see. I haven't tried Fenty beauty products since they originally came out, like when the foundation and the primer and stuff came out, so I'm interested in seeing how I'm gonna like this particular bronzer. This definitely is gonna be a warm bronzer, but I picked up Shady Biz, which is more of a lighter bronzer within the line, so it's not gonna be too heavy or too dark. So this is a side with bronzer, this side is without bronzer. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. I actually really do love this shade. It is really pretty with my skin tone. It's not too much, but it's also not too light either. It's like literally the perfect bronzer for my skin tone. By the way, you guys, I want to say the Sephora sale is coming up very, very soon. I will actually have it listed on the screen right here. So if you guys want to pick up any of like these high-end products that I got from Sephora, definitely wait for the sale, and then you can order it online using Ebates and you can get cash back, because that's what I like to do during those sales. And I'm getting a little carried away. That's what I get for trying to talk and contour my nose. Clean up on aisle 8. I'm also going to take a little bit of that Huda Beauty powder right here underneath my bronzer, but I'm not going to drag it all the way. I'm literally just going to stop right here. I'm gonna let that bake there for a second, and I'm gonna go in with the Blushing in Bali 6-color blush and highlighter palette by BH Cosmetics. I picked this up during my Ulta Beauty Shop With Me video, and one of the main reasons I picked this up is because it comes with 3 different blush shades. It also has 3 different highlighters, so if you are a freelance makeup artist of some sort, I think that this would be really beneficial to have in your kit, because you have a light, medium, and deep blush, and you also have a light, medium, and deep highlighter. I'm gonna mix a little bit of coral and pomegranate together just because I feel like it will really go well with the look that we have going on, and I'm just going to apply it to my cheeks with my sheer powder brush by Smashbox. Ooh, and that deposits a lot of pigment, and honestly I really like it. I love that for me. I'm now going to mix this highlight and this highlight together to get a custom shade because they are so stunning. So I'm just going to pop this right here. Gonna just brush off all of that bake. Let's move right back up to the eyes. I'm gonna go right back into that BH Cosmetics Color Festival palette, and I'm gonna pick up a flat definer brush. This one just so happens to be by Anastasia. This is an A1 brush, and I'm just going to pick up a little bit of the shade called Sequins, which is that really pretty burgundy shade, and I'm gonna put it on my lower lash line to connect the shadow on my lid with my lower lash line. It's really just gonna give it more of a cohesive look, and to buff and blend it out, I'm just gonna use my typical M507. You guys know I love a smoky lower lash line. And then I'm going to take a little bit more of the shade called Pop and just pop it right here in the very inner 1/3 of the crease, because I was losing a little bit of that purple in the process, so I want to like re-intensify it. And if you want to, you can even take a little bit of that shade called Pop and use it to buff and smoke out the lower lash line as well. Just to give it more of like a different kind of like a vibey look. Unfortunately, I don't have a new eyeliner to try and test out within today's video, so I will be sticking to what I know. I'm going to use the Anastasia Waterproof Cream Color in the shade Jet. Despite what happened in my last video, this still is one of my go-to eyeliners. Reason being is that whenever my eyes do get water and it's just slightly damp, I can always go in with a little bit of this and it will completely cover up that area. Whereas if I go in with my Maybelline one, it won't necessarily do that. I haven't come across an eyeliner in general that does not smudge or just completely wipe off when my eye gets watery like that. So if you guys know of one, let me know in the comments. But again, this one is still one of my favorites. I'm just going to use my MAC 210 brush and create a baby wing. I'm trying not to do something dramatic, but who knows? You guys know I get carried away. This look definitely calls for falsies, so I'm going to pop on these lashes right here. These are by Violet Voss. These are the limited edition faux mink lashes in the style Eye of the Day. They are super cute. I like how spaced out they are, and I also like that they're not too heavy or dramatic, so you'll still be able to see the eye look through the eyelashes. So let's pop these babies on. Oh my god, these are so stinking cute because they're like so little and like fluffy when you turn to the side. Like they're very like low-key, like they're not too dramatic, and that's something I've really been liking recently. And what I'm doing now is I'm just taking a little bit of mascara and I'm just combing it through the base of my lash. I'm not combing it all the way through the eyelash, and this is just going to blend my real lashes in with the falsies. And since I'm feeling it, I'm going to go in with this LA Girl Shockwave Neon Eyeliner, which I have been loving recently. This one right here is in the shade Fresh. I'm going to pop this in my waterline just to, you know, add some more color to the look and make it a little bit more fun and poppy. You definitely can skip this step altogether, but I'm just going to take it the extra mile. And the last color I'm going to go in with is this one right here called Electronic. I'm actually going to pop this in my very inner corner just as a subtle pop to the look. Again, stop whenever you guys want. You definitely don't have to go as far as I am with color, but I know a lot of you guys like it when I experiment with color, so today I'm going all in. As for the lips today, I do have a bunch of Velvet Matte Lip Pencils by Nars. I have so many different colors right here. I'm thinking I want to do something more alongside of a nude or maybe even like a nude pink. So possibly this one or this one. What do you guys think? What would you guys choose down below? The pink one is called Exbury and then this one is called Good Times. You know what? I'm going to go in with the shade called Good Times just because I feel like any other color is going to make this look more like an Easter look, and that's definitely not the vibe I'm going for. So I'm going to go in with a classic nude. And just like that, Slay Bays, this is the final and completed look. What do you guys think of it? Let me know down below in the comments. I will definitely say it's completely different than looks I usually film on my channel, which is honestly why I'm really digging it. I'm definitely vibing with it. I feel like it's a cute look for spring, even festival season. Now let's get into some of the products that I thoroughly enjoyed within this video because I always like letting you guys know what I liked and what I didn't like. Now I really enjoyed the color Festival Palette by BH Cosmetics. As you guys saw, the shadows were very easy to blend. They went on very nicely. However, some shades needed a little bit of TLC. As you guys saw, the pink shade in the very outer corner, I definitely had to work with it and build it up, but the shadows did not get patchy whatsoever, and I really love the color story within this palette. It definitely is fun and flirty, and again, perfect for spring or festival season. So if you guys were thinking about picking this up, I definitely will say it is Ashley approved. I really liked it. Now I also really liked the Velvet Matte Lip Pencils by Nars, but that comes to no surprise. Anytime I use these in my videos, I tell you guys straight up, I absolutely love them. My first Milk makeup purchase, the Hydro Grip Primer. You guys look at the packaging on this. It is so sleek and chic and just aesthetically pleasing. I really love the packaging on this. It is so cute, and I really love the formula of the product. It is not a silicone based product, which is very big because nowadays I feel like all primers are silicone based face. Not to mention the primer just felt so good on the skin. As I started to work it in, it started to get like tacky. Like you definitely started to feel that I was getting very, very tacky on the skin, which definitely means that the foundation was really going to stick onto that primer and last for a good amount of time throughout the day. I would definitely continue to test this out and let you guys know if it helps with the overall longevity of the wear of my foundation. So stay tuned for that. I will definitely be updating you guys in future videos. Also, the Fenty Bronzer. I love the shade that I picked out. I feel like it is the perfect shade for my skin tone. So if you guys are of my skin tone, very similar skin tone, definitely check out that shade in Shady Biz. And with that, I'm going to cut the outro short because I've been doing a lot of this. If you guys are interested in knowing my thoughts on any other product I use in today's video, definitely check out the description box down below because I will have asterisks next to each and every single product that I know, love, and would recommend a million times over. I love you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I'll be sure to catch you guys all on the next one. Deuces.